Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. I gotta be honest here, I forgot to plug in the microphone. Well, I didn't forget to plug in the microphone when I originally did this. My son had unplugged it and hadn't plugged it back in properly. So I recorded around half an hour of me working with Claude to update some of the front end functionality, but unfortunately, yeah, no audio. So trying something a little bit different here. Just in keeping with my desire to make sure that I am recording every aspect of this kind of project. There's only really been a few minor things that I've forgotten to record or have missed, but in terms of all of the core prompting of AI and inputting the code into the project, I think I've covered most of it. So the main issue that we had at the time with this piece of functionality was we were rendering our source types on the front end, but we weren't able to edit or update any of the fields. I also think there was an issue with maybe the tag or the folder color. At this point, by the time I'm recording this, it's actually probably well over a month since I did this. I'm well behind in terms of actually releasing the videos, and it's actually the 13th of March today. And today is the day that I've made the production version of the application available, which is, I can't remember if I referred to the name in any other videos before this, so I'll hold off mentioning it just so I can do a release video. Anyway, what you can see here is obviously we're updating the view source type container, which holds all of our business logic, and then after that, we should be able to edit and delete the source types in the individual source type fields. I can't remember off the top of my head if we ran into too many major bugs with this. I think we may have had a bug or an issue or two with the toggle functionality, just because we kind of had a toggle within a toggle. During this time as well, one of the other things I did was go through and update some of the code just to try and compartmentalize it a little bit further compared to the back end, which I think is a lot easier to break down into chunks and have AI understand it more fully. Sometimes with the front end there's a lot more interrelated components, and you're passing props down from a lot of different things, which can make it a little bit difficult. That was really odd. I just heard some of the sound come through the video there. I don't know if you picked that up watching this, but yeah, it seems like maybe only a minute or two of audio there for some reason. Anyway, what are we doing here? So we can now edit the individual fields. I think from memory as well, I can't recall if it was picking up on the back end. We have both a label and a field name, which are actually two different things. So label being, I guess, the nicer looking thing, for example, like channel name with the space. And then we also have it concatenated. So I can't recall if we had that as an issue. It doesn't look like it. Maybe we didn't. But I think we were maybe also running into, here we go. When we change the color, we seem to get we're getting dozens of get requests, and the color doesn't change, and the add field button still doesn't do anything. So we can change an existing field, it seems, but we can't add a new field. As I said, it's been a little while since I did this, but looking here at the object in the console, if I remember correctly, I believe with the API endpoint we were hitting, we might not have been populating all of the fields within the source type itself. So I think we might have just been getting the high level source type data, which would be something, for example, like YouTube, but not all of the individual fields within YouTube. At least that's my recollection. So this video is going to run for about 11 minutes, so we're about halfway through now. I did run it at 3x speed. As I'm talking here, I'm thinking that maybe I should have done it at 4x speed, just so this isn't too repetitive or boring. But look, I chose to release this video because I do want to kind of put as much of the code and as much of the work that I've done on this project live. I just think it's quite interesting to be able to look back and see this. So we do log another issue here, double check how we see data. So this is what I was talking about before with the field name and the label. technically being two different fields in our database, and I think there was a little bit of an inconsistency. Anyway, we have prompted Claude to fix the color and the add field button, and we've got some updated code. Presumably, I'm just going to cut and paste this directly into. Okay, so it misinterpreted, thinking I was saying that creating new fields wasn't working, but it's actually the add field button which gets another input field to display, allowing the user to create that. So I'm sure Claude will respond with a little bit more code for us in a second, and we'll get this put in and go from there. Alright, so getting access to, by the looks of it, new field and set new field as a prop, and then if that's presumably going to get toggled on or off to display it. Can't recall exactly off the top of my head. And then probably also updating, giving the whole return statement. Okay, yeah. So me being a little bit lazy there, just asking Claude to give me the whole return statement. I have found that sometimes, actually just today, even when I was using Claude, it was missing. It was kind of like just missing divs for some weird reason when I was trying to get it to return the entire component, which is quite frustrating. I don't know what was happening today. And I do know, I can't remember if it was before or after this video, but in another video it was missing A tags for links. So I'm not sure if, this is, you can see from the code that's generating, it's quite a long component. One of the things I was thinking about today is there are some aspects of the application where I probably need to chunk it down a little bit further just to make it a little bit easier to work with. So we're getting an error here, not too unexpected when working with AI. Probably either due, I can't actually read the error because the resolution on the preview video here is not great. So it looks like we can click to save it, but it's actually not saving or actually performing updating the database with the new field name there. So front end potentially working, but yeah, something's, well, front end working in the sense that you can type in some data and hit, save, but it's not either passing the data correctly. So I think I'm thinking of going back to Postman, just testing that out. Let's see here, show on card, and we're getting some connection errors with the database. So we need to wait for those to figure itself out. It's probably either just a load issue or every now and then I do need to add my IP address to MongoDB Atlas, which looks like it might be the case in this instance, but we'll see. Okay, here we go, trying again. So we're going to add a new field again, and we look to still be getting an error. We're not getting any errors in the terminal though. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to see what fields come through on the back end. It's either an issue where the front end's not passing all the fields through, or I've got some bug on the back end, but most of the functionality had been tested on the back end, so I imagine it's going to be a front end issue. Yeah, we previously had a separate toggle for just a simple endpoint to toggle on or off visibility, and I think now that I'm seeing this from memory, Claude was getting a little bit confused between the two because they were both kind of requesting updates to the source type. One of them obviously was broken from the looks of my message there. Alright, so now we can toggle, I think, if I saw that correctly, video URL show on card, but we're still getting an error when we're trying to add this additional field. So cannot read properties of null for something. I can't read that because it's the preview screen again. At least preview screen on the video editor that I'm using. We'll get this error. So potentially when we're passing in field, maybe some of the fields don't have any values and it's causing an issue there, because the fields are optional, and then also whether or not it's shown on the card is optional, so potentially that was the issue from memory. No, still getting an issue, and we're still getting that. Seems like a lot of console logs when we're changing the color there. Yeah, so it's saving the data on the back end, but we are getting an error on the front end still. And still an issue. Maybe I missed something here in the code that it told me to do. Summary, save, there it goes, working, happy days. So we'll consider that done, and thanks for watching. I know this was a bit of a weird one, and yeah, not in keeping with the usual style, but I still wanted to get this up and cover it, so appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully I can release a video announcing the app and the name very shortly. So thanks again.